Hi everyone, this is our learning video for quality texts in week 4. Once again, we'll be looking at a book all week and you will be asked to do some draw, talk, share, write activities with the book. Here's our learning sequence. On Monday, we're going to look at the different parts of the cover and we're going to make some predictions. On Tuesday, we're going to look at the characters in the story. And on Wednesday, we'll look at the setting. On Thursday, we'll discuss the problem in the story and how it gets solved. And on Friday, we'll respond to the story and discuss our favourite parts. Every day, you will be asked to draw a picture of something that is happening in the story and share it with your parent. Next, you will add some words to your drawing. So today is Monday and our learning intention is we are learning about the information found on the cover of a fiction book. This is our third fiction book that we've been looking at while you are learning from home, and I'm sure you already know lots of things about what we find on the cover. So let's see if we can find something different to look at today. This week's book is called Noni the Pony Saves a Joey. Look at the cover and think about what this book might be about. We know this is called Making a Prediction. It's a little bit easier today, isn't it, to make that prediction because the title is giving us a very good clue. And so is the picture. We can see Noni the pony is rescuing a Joey. But we don't know how she rescued that Joey. We don't know why the Joey needed rescuing. So maybe those are things you could think about when you make your prediction. Look at the title. It's at the top of the cover. We know that titles are usually at the top of the cover and they are usually written in large writing. Noni the pony is written in large orange writing at the top and underneath it says rescues a Joey in smaller writing. The author's name is just down the bottom there under Noni the pony, under the picture. Her name is Alison Lester. Alison Lester is an author who has written a lot of children's books, just like last week's author, which was Nick Bland. They write lots of children's books. Alison Lester is also the illustrator of this book. It doesn't have two names on the cover there like we sometimes see. So we can see that Alison Lester wrote the story and also drew the very nice pictures inside. What else can you see on the cover? We can see a picture of Noni with the Joey there. Do you know what a Joey is? You probably do know, but when you read the story, you might notice something a little bit different to what you thought. We might talk about that tomorrow. So after you read the story today, see what the Joey is. Is it what you really thought a Joey was? I'll be very interested to know that. Underneath, where the third arrow is pointing, is the title page. The title page is the first page that you see inside the book. It's before the story starts, but it tells us the title of the book again, as well as the author. And this time it has a different picture on the page. So most of the time when you open a book, you will see that title page before you start reading the story. Can you make any connections to this book? Maybe you're remembering the first Noni the Pony book that we read. Maybe you're thinking about the story and the characters and the rhyming words that were in the book. Maybe you're making a connection to a pony. Maybe you've seen a pony. Maybe you've had a pony ride. Maybe you've seen a Joey. Maybe you've even patted a Joey. That would be a lovely thing to do, wouldn't it? Maybe you're thinking of another connection. Or maybe you don't have any connections yet, but when you read the story, it might make you think of something that's happened to you or something that you have seen in another book or another movie or something else that you know about. So after you read the book today, see what connections you can make. Did you predict that the book might be about Noni rescuing a Joey? I think you would be right. That was quite an easy one. But remember, we don't know how Noni rescues that Joey yet, so you still can make a prediction about that and see if you are right after reading the story. Today's task is to draw a picture of a time when you helped or rescued someone. We can see that Noni the pony rescues a Joey, and that word rescues means the same as helped or helps. So maybe you can think of a time when you helped somebody who was in a bit of trouble, or maybe they were just feeling a bit sad, maybe they were lost. Maybe you were playing in the playground and somebody was a bit sad because they had no one to play with, so you helped them find a friend. Or maybe you were the friend and they played with you. Maybe you helped your mum or dad or someone else in your family when they were having a bit of trouble with something. Maybe you found a lost cat or dog, or maybe even a person who was lost and you helped them find their way. There's lots of ways you can help someone. Maybe you even helped your teacher. I know all of you are very, very helpful at school. So think of a time when you helped someone. It doesn't have to be rescuing like someone in big trouble. It might just be being a helpful person by helping to pack something away or doing a job for somebody. So think of a time when you did that and talk about your drawing with a parent and see if you can even add some words to your drawing. After you've done your task for today, view the book on Storybox Library. I hope you really enjoy this story, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about it tomorrow. Bye everyone. Hi everyone, I really hope you enjoyed listening to the story Noni the Pony Rescues a Joey. Today's Tuesday and we are learning about characters. As we know, characters are the people, animals, or creatures in fiction stories. And we know that a fiction story is a made-up story. It is not true. On this page, we can see the characters in the story. The top picture shows us Noni the pony. We know she's a character because that is what the book is called. The next picture shows us Noni the pony with her two friends, Coco the cat and Dave the dog. Do you notice something about Dave? Does he have similar colours and markings to Noni the pony? They look quite similar, don't they? Coco the cat doesn't. She's enjoying riding on Noni the pony's back. That looks like fun. The next character in the book was Joey. Yesterday I asked you to think about what kind of animal Joey is. Did you say kangaroo? Were you right? A Joey is a baby kangaroo, but in this story, the Joey is a wallaby. A wallaby is an animal very similar to a kangaroo, but a wallaby is much smaller than a kangaroo. You might be able to Google a picture today of a wallaby and a kangaroo and see if you can notice how they are the same, but how they are also different. A kangaroo and a wallaby both have long tails. They hop about when they move, and mummy kangaroos and mummy wallabies keep their babies in their pouch. See what other things you can notice about kangaroos and wallabies. Both kangaroos and wallabies have babies that we call joeys. Just like a dog has a baby called a puppy and a cat baby is called a kitten. Kangaroos and wallabies have joeys. Do you know something else interesting? Even a koala baby is called a joey. Isn't that funny? So we know 3 animals now that have babies called joeys. But in this story, the joey is a wallaby. There were other animals in this story too. They weren't the main characters. The story wasn't about them. But they did play a part in the story because Noni the pony asked the other animals if they had seen Joey's family. What other animals did you notice? I'll give you a moment to think about those. Did you see a koala? Koala didn't really want to help. She was too busy sleeping with her Joey. Did you see a wombat? And a platypus? Platypus was swimming away. Did you see Emu and all of Emu's babies? Wonder what emu babies are called. I think they might be called chicks because they're a type of bird. Did you see echidna? Did you see possum, goanna and quoll all sleeping? They weren't much help, were they? All of the animals in that part of the story are Australian animals. They're native to Australia, which means they don't live in other countries in the world. Noni the pony is not native to Australia. She's not an Australian animal. We see ponies in lots of different countries. Same with dogs and cats. But wallabies, koalas, wombats, all of those animals are Australian animals. So this book we can see takes place in Australia. That's a little clue for tomorrow's lesson about the setting. So today your task is to draw a picture of one of the characters from the story. There's lots of characters to choose from today, just like last week. You might even like to choose more than one. So when you're drawing your picture, I want you to think about, what does that character look like? What markings do they have? What colours are they? Are they big or small? What do they like to do in the story? Do they run? Do they have a ride? Do they hop? What kind of family members might that animal have? At the end of the story, we saw Joey's family, didn't we? Maybe you could even draw Joey's family. See if you can add some words to your drawing and share your drawing and your words with a family member. You might even be able to look at the book on Storybox Library and see some of the words in the story that you could add. Some of the names you could have a look at, how to spell Noni the pony, or Joey, or Coco, or Dave. I'll look forward to seeing your work on Dojo this week. See you tomorrow, boys and girls. Hi everyone, it's Wednesday today, and today we are learning about the settings in fiction stories. The last two books we read have taken place in a house. The setting was a house, Rodney the rabbit's house, and last week in The Runaway Hug, it was the house of the very large family. I don't think we see any houses in this story. So as we know, fiction books can be set in many different places. The story might happen on the moon, in the jungle, in a school, or in a city. What is the setting in this story? I've put a little picture underneath there. There are different words we could use to describe this setting. I wonder if you spotted the name on one of the first pages of this setting. Sometimes places in stories, just like places where we go, have a name, like Seven Hills. Seven Hills is the name of our school and also the suburb that many of us live in. We also live in a part of Australia called Sydney. Sydney is the big city that is near us. So that is another name of a place. Sometimes a story might be in a city with a name like Sydney, or we might just say the city. This story is not in a city though, is it? This story looks like it might be in a place called the bush. In Australia, we say the bush when we mean a place that has a lot of trees and not many buildings because it's not in a city. So you might say this is a bush. It's not quite a forest, but a forest might be another word that some people might use. We could also say it's the country, because the country is a place where there's lots of trees, not many buildings or roads. There might be lots of animals, and it's not a city. Not a lot of people live there. So we could call it the country. But did you spot the name? It wasn't Seven Hills, was it? It was a place called Waratah Bay. If you see that in the story, you'll notice that Waratah Bay has capital letters, a capital W for Waratah and a capital B for Bay. That's because it's the name of a place. This place is also near the water. That's why it's called a bay. So Noni the pony can visit the beach, and she can also visit the countryside in the place that she lives. So today, have a look at the story on Storybox Library again and see if you can find a nice picture of the setting in the story. There are lots of different pictures in the story. all about the setting. What kind of things can you see in the setting? Do you see a lot of trees? Did you spot the water? What colour is the water? What colour are the trees? Did you see the hillside? Lots of hills. You might have noticed the grass. What else did you notice? Have another look at the story and see what you can find in the setting. Draw a picture of the setting and share it with a family member. Remember to add some words to your drawing. You might like to label your drawing Waratah Bay because that's where Noni the pony lives. I'll look forward to seeing your drawings on Dojo. Keep up the good work, everyone. Today is Thursday, and on Thursdays we learn about the problems in fiction stories. As we know, most fiction books have problems, and the problems usually get solved. You might remember in The Runaway Hug, the problem was that Annie the dog ran away with Mummy's last hug. But the problem got solved when Annie brought the hug back and Lucy could have a good night's sleep because she felt all warm and safe after she had her hug from Mummy. So what is the problem in this story? These pictures are showing us part of the problem. The first picture looks like there's a lot of Joeys on the page, but that picture is showing us where Joey started and what happened when the wind blew him away. He got tossed and turned all over the place, and when the wind stopped, Joey found that he was lost and couldn't find his way home. That's when Noni, Coco and Dave came along and they found Joey looking very sad. What did Noni offer to do to help Joey find her family? What did they go and do? Can you remember? That's right. They went to ask a lot of other animals if they had seen the wallaby family. But the other animals hadn't seen any wallabies, and some of the animals were asleep, so they weren't much help at all. How does the problem get solved in this story? We can see here that Noni was taking Joey to her place to look after him until her family could be found, or his family, sorry, could be found. And as they were heading towards Noni's place, who did they see? They saw the wallaby family, and they are looking very happy to see Joey, aren't they? So the problem got solved, and it turned into a happy ending. What happened after the problem got solved? That's right, they had a nice party and they were singing and dancing together, weren't they? So everybody was overjoyed to see Joey back with his family. Today, I'd like you to draw about the problem in this story, or you might even like to think of a problem that you have had that's a little bit like Joey's. Have you ever been lost and you couldn't find your mum or your dad? Maybe you've been to the shops and you took a wrong turn and you couldn't find the grown-up that you were with. Maybe you were at a park and you ran away a little bit too far and couldn't find mummy or daddy. How did that problem get solved that you had? So you can draw about the problem that you had, or you can draw about the problem that Joey had and how it got solved. Talk about the problem and add some words to your picture so that you can share it with someone in your home. Remember to share it with me on Dojo as well. I look forward to seeing your work. Bye, boys and girls. See you tomorrow. Today's Friday, and on Friday, we learn about responding to fiction stories. I wonder what you liked about this book. I've got some pictures here that might remind you of some things that you liked. There are many reasons that we can like a book. Sometimes we like a book because we just like the story. We might think it's fun. We might even think it's sad. We just might like the characters. We might like the interesting pictures. We might also like the rhyming words in the story. We just might like the words and how the story ends, especially when it's a happy story and it makes you feel happy inside. So what do you like about this book? Let's have a look at some of the pictures that I chose. I really liked the ending where everyone was so happy to see Joey back with his family, and even the cows joined in and they were singing and dancing all together. I thought that was funny to look at the cows kicking their legs up. That's a funny dance called the can that the cows are doing there. I've never seen cows really dance like that. But remember, this is a fiction story, and in a fiction story, anything can happen, even dancing cows. Noni the pony's dancing up on her two legs as well, and Joey looks like he's hopping about. There's another picture up the top here that I quite liked because I thought those emu chicks were so cute. Emus are big and sometimes even a little bit scary looking, but their little baby chicks are so adorable. I really liked that picture in the book. And there's another picture at the bottom of all those sleepy animals. Who can you see sleeping in that picture? I can see goanna sleeping on a branch. I can see a possum curled up in a little nest. And I can see a quoll. The quoll is the spotty one. I can see quoll sleeping in a hole in the tree. I like that picture. I thought it looked really cute with all of those animals sleeping. And you can see the blue water in the background. It's a very pretty picture, pretty setting. Those are some reasons that you might like the story. Maybe you like the ending. Maybe you like the cute animal drawings. Maybe there was something else you liked. Maybe Noni the pony helped you to make a connection with another story that you have read. Or maybe you thought about a time when you've seen some of those animals at the zoo, or when you've ridden on a pony. That would be fun. So today I'd like you to think about why you like this story and what it is that you liked about it. You might like to have another look at the story on Storybox Library before you do your drawing. Here's something else you might have liked about the book. Sometimes when we read children's fiction books, there are a lot of rhyming words, and rhyming words seem to make the story a bit more interesting and fun to read. It gives them a rhythm as we read. So maybe you like the rhyming words in the book. I thought you might like to think about some of those rhyming words today. In the book, there were a lot of words that rhymed on each page. I've got some examples here. See and free. Do you see that the ending of those two words is the same? See has two E's at the end and free has two E's at the end. So when we say them, the only sound that's different there are the beginning sounds. The ending sounds are the same. See, free. The next two words are day and bay. They have the same ending sound. That ending sound is A, which is spelt with an A-Y. We only have to change the letter at the beginning to make those words different. Day has a D and B has a B. Day and bay. The next one is trail and tail. Have a listen to that. They both have the sound ale at the end. Trail, tail. Can you spot the two endings that are the same? At the bottom here we have grass and pass. They both have the same ending sound as well. If we take away the gr and we take away the p, we have the same ending sound, and that makes those two words rhyme. And the last one we have, these ones are quite long. We have a couple of sounds there that sound the same in sleeping and peeping. That ending sound is eeping, which isn't a real word, is it? But when we add sl, that's the S and the L, sl, to the beginning, we have sleeping. And then if we take those away, and we have eeping again, we just have to add a p at the front to have peeping. So do you see how they sound very similar? It's only that very first sound or very first two sounds that are the same. Sleeping, peeping. So maybe you could even have a look in the book and see if you can find any other rhyming words. Even the title is rhyming, Noni the pony. And even though Noni the pony is spelt differently, Noni has an I and pony has a Y, they still have the same ending sounds. Oni, Noni the pony. See how you go. You might find some more rhyming words in that story. So today your task is to draw a picture of your favourite part in the story. Share it with a family member and tell them why you liked that part or why you liked the whole story. Maybe you didn't like the story. That's okay. We don't have to like every story that we read. But if you didn't like the story, maybe you could tell someone why you didn't like it. Was there something that you didn't enjoy about it? That's okay. Not everybody likes the same books all the time. But if we know why you don't like it, then next time maybe we can try to choose a book that you like even better. Don't forget to add some words to your drawing and share it with me on Jojo. I hope you've enjoyed this week's learning about our quality text, Noni the Pony Rescues a Joey. I look forward to sharing another story with you next week. Bye, boys and girls.